Live. Okay, so
I didn't think I was gonna get you that.
okay, Jack, you want to explain the obvious what you just said before we just started? Why I'm laughing so hard?
So
It's
I
like,
was telling Hack that I've recently uh started talking to a woman, getting back out there, and he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, hopefully y'all get to meet each other, and especially with with everything opening up, they can finally go out and do something." I was like, "Oh yeah, just need to make sure I have protection on for the hand holding. Get my gloves because we can't do anything that lewd without any protection."
and as soon as he said that, I just started busting because I mean, think about this. Are not just gloves, especially latex gloves, just protection for the hands, and is not hand holding considered lewd?
Condoms.
Exactly. Confirm. Gloves are just hand condoms. Welcome to episode
That's how people get
39 of the
pregnant.
HAC JAC Show. Oh man. Oh man. Episode 39. Disobedient Poodle's golfing incident continues. I love my little title for today's episode.
I read it on Twitter. I still have no idea this is going to be about, other than The Last of Us.
It's like my thumbnail image.
Yep.
so, alright, so a few things. Obviously, the first foremost, luckily, more Last of Us nonsense continues from our favorite developers, the Disobedient Poodle, and and as well some more other just much smaller things that just I say it'd be funny to laugh at. And as far as pirates, that has to do with Pirates of the Caribbean. Some big news on that. On that
Oh,
ever,
okay.
yeah. So so first off, Jack, how you been keeping up the aftermath of the Last of Us leaks?
No, not really. I'm just kind of after noticing what the ending or like the synopsis of the whole story is gonna be. I just stopped caring about it.
Well, consider us lucky, Jack,
Mm-hmm.
because Naughty Dog and my extension Sony, they have been actually doing copyright strikes and people talking about their game.
Oh, I know that.
That's,
That was
that's what I
very
was
obvious.
that's what I was referring to, and I am so glad. Maybe because we didn't actually show anything of the game, just merely talked about it. But still, though, people have been struck down for less. So I consider it a blessing that are now at 32 view last episode is still up untouched. I'm glad.
Well, yeah, I did kind of figure that they were doing that. It was pretty obvious because they were already trying to delete videos off of people's YouTubes just that had just the cutscenes. So yeah, that was gonna happen.
Yeah, and of course they already took down all the leak information from even at the time of recording, which luckily we were able to find something before it's just all taken out completely. But of course, that also comes down to the fact that there was a video on not on Disobedient Poodle's main channel. They have a channel actually, in which is a special message from the game's director Neil Druckmann. Druckmann, not Drunkman. Drunkman. I can't remember that.
I keep thinking you're saying drunk man, like an actual drunk man.
Nope, there's no N in that. Well, there is an N, two N's actually, but not where you think it is. It's drunk man. In any case, he has a special. It's pretty much. It was like a 2 minute, 2.5 minute video, and me share with you. Now, that was it was pretty much him pseudo talking about the leaks, although not talking about it specifically, and is getting over already 500,000 views, and I'll put it on the Discord for you. There you go. half a million views with 26,000 likes and 80,000 dislikes. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. So let's see. And actually, let me switch over some cameras for a second. There you go. All right. So did you actually see this little video?
Let me look at it right now.
All right, I'll give the audience a snippet of it while you're doing that.
Hey guys, as I'm sure you've heard by now, The Last of Us Part 2 has a release date of June 19th, 2020. But that's not what this video is about. We wanted to let you know that we have gone gold. So back in April, we told you that, due the state of the world, logistics way beyond our control, we had to push the game, which gave us a few extra weeks to polish. And now that we have a release date, we've submitted our gold master. So that means discs are starting to get pressed and the executables being put on the PlayStation Network. And you're going to have our game in just a few short weeks. And normally this would be a moment of celebration. We'd be at the office having a drink, eating cake, but we're all stuck in our homes. And I just want to take this moment to congratulate the team that has pulled off the most ambitious game we've ever made. And I know I've said this before, but you won't know to what degree until you get your hands on it and just see the care that has gone into every detail, from the level design to the mechanics, just graphically how the game looks, environments, art direction, characters, story, the audio design, the soundtrack. Oh my God, the soundtrack is so amazing that even for us who have played this game, we can't even count how many times. We know it inside out. We're still emotionally moved. I've just finished a playthrough and I was crying by the end of it. And it's just pretty incredible. And I'm extremely proud of it. The team is extremely proud of it. And we can't wait to hear what you guys think once you finally play it. And I will just want to say, on behalf of everyone at Naughty Dog, we want to say thank you to you guys. You've been very patient waiting for this game for years with us, and you're just a few weeks away
I
from,
think I've
from
heard
getting
enough.
it.
I
And
pretty much listened to almost the whole thing, and I like the way he talks. It's as if it sounds like the dev team is happy, but I mean, if they were happy, then they wouldn't have leaked the whole game.
And also to be fair, when I first saw the video, I actually had to, because I did not like how slow he was talking. I actually had to put the video at 1.5 speed just to get through it. I'm like, God dang, come on, man, quicker. It's why you're a game designer, not a salesman. And of course, the first sin was filming in portrait mode. That's sin number one.
Yep.
It's, and now the second one was, and this is a super ad hominem attack. It's nothing to do with his ability as a game designer, but god damn, shave, man, shave. Like, you're not. This guy does not look old enough to have the wise man beard yet. So shave that off.
The
Look presentable.
soy boy.
Exactly. I was half expecting him to like do a complete turn, and I just see a man bun right there. I
I thought he had one.
I think so. I think so. You could tell by the way his hair is got tied up in the back, but been around before. But as for what he's actually saying, I actually kind of find it surprising because initially, as soon as the pandemic started, the game was put on the release date was put on indefinite hold, and there was no plans to release it as soon as like next month. So that leads me to and I'm trying to think of game design ca- uh, calendar wise. If not for the leaks, like how soon will the game actually come out? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the timetable of the development here because they've been
I
developing
feel
for
like it.
years. It's just that if they're gonna release the game now, even though it was announced that oh no, it's gonna be on hold for the indefinite time being, I'm just wondering how complete the actual game is.
I feel like it would have been like 10 years till they finished the game, just because like I've had these indefinite hiatuses happen many times before. They just do not give a good. It doesn't give hope. That's the thing.
So, so if we go by that, then maybe we gotta thank the. I guess not thank, but we gotta commend the leakers for forcing them to release the game on time. I guess.
What are you
Still,
talking
like,
about? I am gonna thank them for
oh,
saving me $60.
well, you weren't gonna spend it anyways. You don't have a PS4.
Shut up. That's not the case here.
I was gonna say the other way because I mean I'm said many times I'm not a big fan of the series. If any case, they saved many people, many gamers $60, and those $60 and it can go to I don't know what games oh my god what games are actually coming out during this time.
They could go for charity. Those $60 could go for charity.
Oh, you're right. Or Streets of Rage 4. You can go with that one too. Get
Oh,
us.
speaking of which,
Mm-hmm.
just a little side tangent. So, I was trying, like, as I've been telling you a lot, I've been trying out the dating apps and stuff, and
Right.
my third one that I tried out was Hinge. I think that was called. And with this one, it was like I matched with someone. I didn't really. Right now, I'm not liking them at all in the sense of like as a partner, but maybe as a friend. Oh, but like they really made me feel like crap in the sense of like, oh, like yeah, I she's like, yeah, I'm advocating for this, and like I'm helping out in the homeless shelter. Like she's actually doing it. She's part of a good community. She's doing good stuff in the community. Meanwhile, me, I sit at home to play video games. So I try
uh,
to like think of a way to make myself not look like such a such a bad person or like such a lazy ass. Oh god. So you know what I said?
what do you say?
Uh I have a I help out my church, which is not entirely like fake. I do help out the church, but that's why I asked you what was the name of our church because like here's the thing. I never see it. I never see the sign for the church, so I never knew the exact name of it.
Yeah, well, to be fair, to be fair, people know the names of our church via like word of mouth. But we do actually have a sign. It's just that where we go in to enter is not in that area. But we
Exactly.
do have a big old sign of like a logo we like stopped using like years ago.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, because remember, technically we're going to the back of the church, so we rarely see what's actually in the front. It's weird.
But yeah, it was interesting.
Uh,
But now you know the mystery of why I asked you so suddenly midweek. Hey, what's the name of our church?
I figured like it was your mom asking like where do you go, and you just happened to forget the name. That
Well,
was
like,
that. I didn't know it was to
well, the
impress
thing
a
is
lady.
that like no, no, I just didn't want to seem like I'm a total nobody that doesn't do something.
I trying to impress a lady. Or at least give a good image.
Yeah.
Did you also tell her that you know how to shred?
Nope. No, that's something I'm very humble about in the sense of like I tell them I am complete ass.
I'll just tell them that I know a few fingerings if you
No, I
catch
am
my
complete
drift.
ass. No, that would be with me playing Osu. Like, oh yeah, I know my way around. I
Well,
can show you what these fingers can do.
actually, you know what? So, so I remember. I don't know if you know this phrase, but okay. So, do you know a certain analogy for the happy button on a lady's genitals, involving a mouse?
Are you talking about the old mouse pad that people had?
No, 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 just mouses in general.
No, I don't. At least I don't think I know what you're talking about right now.
Okay, so I remember one stream I was watching, uh, like weeks ago, and
Mhm.
and and one of the hosts on the stream, she gave the best analogy uh I guess for pleasuring the opposite sex, and that being flicking the mouse.
Flicking the mouse.
Flicking the mouse. Especially if you have like a wheel attached to it, you gotta flick it, give it a little flick,
Oh yeah, I remember my mouse doesn't do that. Mine can't do that weird continuous spin.
Actually, my mouse has two. It's the continuous spin, and then if I press a button, it does I can go like in certain segments. It's pretty cool. But yeah, yeah, yeah. So because of Osu, you could definitely show ladies how to flick the mouse.
Oh, I
Hey,
don't think that's needed in those. It's mostly tapping.
whatever works, whatever works. But actually, speaking of genitalia, I have something related to that actually.
Ooh,
Yes. So,
is it the dick reveal?
no, no, it's not. Not yet.
Penis reveal at 69, 69, 69, 69.
66. Oh man.
I hope I added enough 69s there because I don't want to.
69, 69, 69. That's about 600 subscribers. I think that's enough. But no, 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 no. So what it actually is, and actually does involve in genitalia, is well, number one, are you? Well, actually, I should ask you this: Are you excited for Cyberpunk 2077?
Nope.
Do you
I,
do you care at all about the game?
I thought it was already out.
Nope. It's coming. It's coming. It's I think it's been like in development since 2012. I think maybe 2015.
Huh. I
Either
could have sworn it was already out.
no, it's still in the works, and I believe it only got delayed. It got delayed so many times. The first time was so that the studio can finish The Witcher 3,
Uh,
and so yeah, and if you look up into a lot of the stuff going on within what's that Red? What's their name again? The studio Red. We're the Witcher guys again. What was their name again?
I thought it was just Studio Red, no? Was it? I could have sworn it was just Studio Red.
Could be. Hold on, let me just fact check myself real quick. Oh, yeah, sorry, I gotta be specific. Can't just say The Witcher. Gotta put Witcher game. Are you talking about the books, the show, or the games? CD Project Red. That's the name. CD Project Red.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. So because it's to pretty much finish the third Witcher on time, it delayed development on Cyberpunk, and then it kept getting delayed, and then the last big thing was when one E3 there's that Keanu appearance
Mm-hmm.
because they're advertising Keanu's gonna be in the game, and
Yeah.
and so far, funny. And right now, some more developments came of like some of the stuff that's in the game via an ESRB description. So it's already been rated by the ESRB, and I want to highlight a specific, a specific. Let me go. There we go. A specific line in which it says, da, 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 da. Here it goes. The game The game contains nudity and sexual material. Players can select a gender and customize their character. Customization can include depictions of breasts, buttocks, and
Oh,
genitalia, as
yeah. I
well as
forgot
various
about that.
sizes and combinations of genitals.
I forgot about that. The whole genitalia thing.
So my question is, what do you mean combinations of genitals?
Hermaphrodites, they want to add it, or sorry, intersex, as they want to say.
No, see the Japanese one.
Fuda?
There you go.
So wait, what about if they're mostly male? Because it works for mostly female, but that doesn't work for mostly male.
Um, not Shota. That's just a guy lolly. I don't think
You
there
mean
is.
you mean a child? Just a child.
Hey, as their words, not mine.
It's just a
that's
child.
that's how they describe. That's how they describe it. Any case, I'm just wondering, what does it mean to um customize like no, not customize combinations. Like, are we?
Literally add both. I'm assuming.
Can you imagine? There's no. First of all, there's no way people are gonna be able to stream this game. At least like the first part when you're customizing your character. Because if they go full Conan Exiles and just like show it, that's gonna be fun. Oh man, you aware of that for Conan Exiles, that MMO?
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, so there's a MMO called Conan Exiles, and like similar to what I just described with Cyberpunk, you can customize certain body parts. And in the cases of men, you can determine the size of your dick. I imagine most players have it at least near the end or right below the end of the scale. Imagine
Yeah.
the imagine the dick scale. Oh, like, uh, imagine having to animate that and design it, and like you're going to work one day and you're just realizing that you're creating that you're number one that you're creating different sizes of genitalia. That's your job for the day as a game artist.
I mean, having a slider for that would make it's not. I'm assuming having a slider actually doesn't make it that difficult
I'm
to do that.
Yeah, but then now it comes like customizing because now I'm thinking about it in combinations. Like, so there's gonna be someone in which they're gonna be like, okay, how am I gonna customize this? Do I want it to curve? Should it be spotted? Do I want hair?
No, I'm assuming it's gonna be like, how should I customize this? Yes, and then have the most ridiculous looking character.
Oh, I hope they add a randomizer button. That's gonna be fun. But yeah, this is a little funny thing. Just wanted to highlight since we mentioned genitals. Oh, and to go back to Last of Us, again, the official trailer came out today, and I decided just to take a look at it. And I kid you not, oh, it's a basic trailer, but knowing what happens and then watching it, number one, it pretty much don't show anything about what happens later on in the game, which makes sense. It's a trailer. But like the last thing that Ellie says, I verbatim, she says, "You should have killed me." I'm like, oh, that's that's subtle. That's very subtle. So that was fun. So that's just funny. Well, speaking of funny, don't know if you saw this, but do you still watch regular TV?
No, not at all.
Same here. Same here. The last time I watched TV was for a sci-fi show made by the guy who made Family Guy, and I was like last year. Seth MacFarlane. So I saw this little clip. I'm gonna send it to you in Discord. Uh, I saw this little clip on Twitter, and there we go. And it was just the most hilarious thing of showcasing something that quite honestly would not be a thing in at least in modern Western society. So it's I believe it's from like a show about firemen, right? I forget what the
Hmm.
actual name of the show is, but kind of recognize it from some trailers. It's a show about firemen, and in this scene, a play for our audience. There's a Muslim woman who's a
Wow.
fireman, and guess what happens to her? She loses her hijab, and the scene makes this the most dramatic thing possible. Like, oh my god, like it's like a life or death situation, and because of that, skip forward ahead in the video for the viewers. Because of that, all the firefighters start covering her and forming a circle so that no one can see her without her hijab.
Damn. That
And like the music's like is that it's like so dramatic, like someone was about to die. And of course the responses from everyone, from like normal people to even like just normal Muslims, are like, dude, if she dropped off her hijab, she'll just pick it up and put it back on. There's no.
I'm telling you, it's like how it's like that rant I had about cultural appropriation. People, they take things to a whole nother level when it's not their culture, and they think they're helping, but they're just overreacting.
Oh man, still though, just the music and the guy and the men, you know, being firefighters. Which actually, first of all, I'm sure they're out there, but I'll say that I've never seen a female firefighter. I'll say that. I would think you required, a good amount of strength to even volunteer. So that's already shady as it is. Just still though, just you find a lot of gold mines on Twitter. Oh, and also speaking of Twitter, actually, so very rarely do I actually get to like any like argument on Twitter. Mostly because A, I can tell they're just from people who not worth it, or B, there's just not enough there for me to even troll. And but I found one from someone I follow actually. He's like the one he's like the one person I follow who like unironically has like their pronouns in their bio, which is a good sign. And I'll just say this. I'm not gonna mention his name, but I will mention this. Number one, he makes a tweet about about gatekeeping and how that's a bad thing. I then respond disagreeing with him, disagreeing with him, and and the first thing he says to me, let's see if I can get it here. Let's see if I can find it. The first thing he says to me, for just saying, I disagree, and that every hobby could use less fake geek girls. I mean,
Like,
and was that?
well, like that's just in. Okay, go ahead.
And then he tells me his words, "The fuck you on about?" I was like, okay. Looks like I'm a little heated, just a little heated,
Just a bit,
yeah, just a
just a
bit.
tiny bit.
And pretty much, explain my position as respectful as I can. And pretty much, it ends with the last thing he says to me: it's not your fault you feel threatened by new fans." Lol.
It.
Exactly. I was reading his tweets. I'm like, first of all, grammar, dude. Come on, capitalize those first letters every sentence. And just his tone, I was like, like I was wavering to respond because I was having fun, just semi trolling him, not full troll, just semi, because I was also being half sincere as well. And literally, and it ended up with me saying have the last word, where I literally said the last sentence was, either way, I respectfully disagree. I haven't heard from him. I've not heard from him. And the best part, when you read his bio and his pinned tweet, it literally says that please be my friend. I'm like, oh, you ain't real friendly.
Yeah, he's not looking for friends.
No, no. And but it was just it was one of those rare times where I actually got someone a bit perturbed. You could say maybe a little triggered, even though because I'm very lovable. You ever seen me trigger anyone, Jack? Not that I
You
know.
trigger me. You always trigger me.
That's the secret when you're with me.
Like,
You're always triggered.
like, see, right now I'm getting triggered.
Oh man. So, so wanted to wanted to share that little funny moment. Oh, now, few more things. So, okay, so I was talking about the Pirates of the Caribbean, and what that actually is. What's going on is that apparently Disney didn't get the memo since the last like the fifth and fourth movies didn't do so hot. So Disney's like, all right, we milked it for all it's worth. Let's stop it. Nah, they're still gonna roll with it. But this time, guess what? They're gonna do the bright idea. They're gonna do a Ghostbusters 2016.
Wait, what? Can you repeat that?
So they're gonna Disney's had the bright idea to reboot Pirates of the Caribbean with a female lead.
Uh,
So, yep, and I have it right here on the site called the Disney Insider, where it says is in fact going the reboot route and are currently looking for a female lead, and one of their choices is an actress named Karen Gillan, who famously plays Nebula in the Marvel movies, and she's that chick in the Jumanji movies. I never seen them, but I recognize how she looks. The Laura Croft looking chick, proper Laura Croft. So they're eyeing her to lead this new series of pirate movies. And honestly, you know what? The first thing that came to mind, it was that do people still want to watch Pirates of the Caribbean movies?
it's been so long, I completely forgot about them. Like, in the sense I know they exist, I just forgot their whole plot line.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question then. Do you remember when the last Pirates movie came out?
Wasn't it like 2000s? Not even 2010.
Let's see. Piratas de la Caribbean. So the last Pirates movie came out back in 2017.
I don't remember that.
Oh, it was the fifth one. It was called Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Men Tell No Tales, and that was the last one back in 2017. And let me see, I'm at the IMDb page, so just looking up just general. Where is it? Some information. Okay, so let me show you how much of a commercial success this movie was. So the movie cost around $230 million, and and in the United States, it only grossed over 172 million. But then worldwide, it made its money back, about 794 million. So it made some money, but but knowing Disney, this is pennies to them. So I'm wondering, the meh, like literally, the movie came out and everyone agreed it was a meh because of the meh success of the fifth Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Instead of just laying it to rest, because honestly, I don't know if people still care about these movies. So they decided to just let's just start over and just do a reboot. And be honest with me, Jack. Be honest with me. What's the number one reason people even wanted to see these movies?
Most likely Johnny Depp.
Repeat that again.
Most likely for Johnny Depp, for Captain Jack Sparrow.
Exactly. So take him away. People are gonna want to watch.
Like,
Like,
I just don't think they would at all.
I mean, they were already pushing it with even like Johnny Depp was pretty much like begrudgingly playing the role because that's like after the third movie, he really was just laying it on thick. He really was like really acting for a paycheck, and
Yeah.
so it's and also when you really look at the movies themselves, um, do you rem- oh, for number actually do you remember what happens in the third movie at World's End?
I forgot how all the movies are.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, they do kind of blend together. And I actually did like watch like the first three within like in a span of a few days. Pretty much, The third movie, Jack Sparrow comes back from Davy Jones' locker, which was an interesting interpretation, quite honest. And you ended up having like these like all of the pirates of the seas coming together to essentially fight a British navy. And while at the same time, a giant storm was going on, in which there was a cyclone in the midst of the battle.
Hmm.
People knocked those once, but I still think like the climax for the third movie is still pretty cool. You know, some of the kind of the silly stuff those movies have.
Yeah.
And after that, you know what? Just when the fourth and fifth one came out, I think to myself, what's there to tell? Like you did this spectacular thing. You killed the freaking Kraken. Like the Kraken is dead. Everyone's plot is like resolved, and uh, there's only so much you can. There's only so much in which you can kind of BS an idea that's based on a theme park ride. Even a good one. I've been to it. It's only okay. It's like yeah.
I've never been to any of the theme park rides.
You have to, well, I'll say this. You have to be a really big Disney fan to like the Disney theme parks. Like they needs to have you need to have an emotional connection with them because some of the ones I've been in, and this is a
Hmm.
Disney World by the way. It's just like these
And
things.
aren't most of them like just kind of like the rides where you don't really interact as much, or it's not even a roller coaster. It's like nothing really hyped about it.
Some of them are, but there are some that legit like roller coaster rides, and like Space Mountain being one of them. But like they're not worth like the hour long wait lines. And of course, a lot of the stuff has like not been updated since the 19 I think 80s or 60s maybe. I forget when theme parks uh, began. But a lot of them, they have not been updated in a while, so a lot of the charm and the puppetry is kind of gone. And 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 honestly, Universal has the better rides anyway, so just go to Universal. Speak from experience. Would you rather let me ask you this: Would you rather let's see, just go? Would you rather go through go through the pirates line where like you're on a boat and it's just a whole bunch of animatronics doing pirate stuff, singing pirate songs, or go to Universal and go to like a really good Spider-Man ride where you're like swinging with them?
Spider Man.
There you go. There you go. So so yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean. It's it's the has been of movies. That's what it honestly is. The has been. And but looking that stuff up kind of let me down because I'm looking at the actress, and of course just looking at her at Jumanji, she's very pretty. She's a very pretty lady. And then when I realized she plays Nebula, I saw another lost opportunity for the Marvel movies. That being Jack. Do you know what Nebula used to look like during the 80s?
No,
All right.
not really.
So so put it in your head. You know how she looks like, in the movies, right?
Yeah.
And recently the comics adapted that look. So let me show you what she used to look like, especially during the Infinity Gem story. So here we go. Da, 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 images. There. Bada bing. Bada boom. Oh, hold on. Wonder if I can. No, I cannot. Dang it. Hold on. Give me a second.
I'm
Neb.
giving you plenty of seconds.
Give me more seconds. Give me more. Give me more seconds.
More, Seymour.
There we go. Let's see, where is it? Here she is. All right, there we go. So that's what she looks to look like in the comics.
Oh, okay.
And I'm looking at the actress. I'm like, couldn't they just do this? instead of like the weird robot bald thing that they did get away with. I would not mind a blue alien chick with nice flowing hair. That's all I'm just saying.
I don't know. I kind of like the baldness.
Well, you don't appreciate 80s hair. That's what it is.
No, you just want to go with the generic flowing hair. That's what you're doing.
No, 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 no. Dude, you ever seen big, puffy 80s hair? It's a certain charm to it, especially when drawn or animated. There's magic in it. Magic. Just wouldn't understand, man. Just wouldn't understand. Speaking of magic, actually, there's no magic here. So, okay. So, so more news, more entertainment news stuff came on in regards to Marvel, and this is something interesting. I like to see how it plays out because right now, when I see what Marvel's planning on doing, especially now with Disney Plus, is that they're going to incorporate a lot of the more modern Marvel stuff into TV shows and movies, right?
Hmm.
Because recently they just announced that Ironheart, Riri Williams, the black girl who replaced Tony Stark a few years ago, she's getting her own show on Disney Plus. And and actually, I should ask, Jack, you ever seen Literature's Devil video with her?
No, no. I haven't been watching YouTube stuff that often.
Okay, so to kind of paraphrase what he said in this video,
Hmm.
so because to give everyone this idea, like the origin of this character, so she's a 15-year old black girl who is a genius at birth. Like she is extremely smart, and sometimes the comics inflated that she might even be smarter than Tony Stark, right? So she's at this start like by the age of 15, and her first issue starts off with it at a child psychiatrist office, and the psychiatrist telling her parents that Riri is bored, and she is so smart and so big brain that she's literally bored all the time. And that's page one of the comic. Page one establishes that literally she's bored, and she only decides to go the superhero stuff to overcome her boredom.
Huh.
Eventually, and maybe there is some, and there they she definitely did go through some tragedy where she lost her best friend and her dad to gang violence,
Hmm.
but either it was poorly written or never intended. But when you read the comic, you never it never shows how that event really affected her, because we see her actually fight a villain when she literally creates her own Iron Man suit. You know, she just goes about it mocking the villain. Being a smartass, and it ends with her not really going through really any struggle, and just pretty much her just being, if only I can do something with my life. With Tony Stark literally appearing in front of her and asking, "Hey, um, do you want to work for me?" And that's the end of issue one. And then later on in the series, it's then revealed that the only reason she decides to want to like make an Iron Man suit in the first place, you want to know the reason for that?
What?
Is because she was upset that her teacher couldn't put her down for being a girl or black. That the teacher's like, okay, then you won't accomplish anything unless you're smarter than Tony Stark. And literally, like Riri was telling her, it's like, hey man, it's like, hey, can you literally like put me down? Can you tell me that I'm horrible because I'm black and a girl? And the teacher's like, what? It's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. He's like, okay, then to tell me who's better than me. Be better than Tony Stark. There, that's her motivation.
That's dumb.
Yeah, and and I think
She's just.
and I think to myself, how the heck they're gonna put that on TV or
I
these
think she's
streaming
just a
services?
masochist.
I think there was a theory in that she actually could have been because she was so smart. She could have been on the spectrum.
Oh, like here's the thing. I'm pretty sure what they're gonna do on TV is make it to where the teacher's a dick and is actually racist.
Yeah, and it was a white teacher, by the way.
Pretty sure that's what they're gonna do with the
Well,
teacher.
I'm sure too, and I'm and I can't wait for the scene where she's gonna be like Tony Stark. Whatever. I'm better than Tony. Although good for her because since Tony's dead, is she can she can derail them all she wants. Well, I never stopped her before. So you got a character like that who even in the first issue was written very poorly and replaced Tony Stark, and that made a lot of people happy. And she's getting her own show, and it actually reminded me. I know we probably did cover this probably last year of how like another modern Marvel character, Miss Marvel, the Muslim hero.
Hmm.
She's also getting the show relatively soon. So I think to myself, okay, so they're gonna get Riri Williams, Kamala Khan their own shows. These two modern characters that, for all intensive purposes,
Hmm.
are not that popular. They're well known, but they're not
Hmm.
popular. You catch my drift?
Yeah.
And and pretty much they're just a reminder of the failing of Marvel Comics because let me ask you this. To me this is a sound business strategy. It is the Avengers your first Avengers movie was a sound success, right? Everyone's
Hmm.
happy and so Marvel Studios is continuing on that success with making more movies and each of them become more successful than the other.
Hmm.
Now you're Marvel Comics. You own these characters, and literally at this point of time, everyone knows who Iron Man, who knows who Thor, and knows who Captain America are.
Yeah.
We're literally at the peak of their popularity.
Yeah.
And what did they decide to do during this time? So say between 2012 and now, they decide to kill off Tony, replace actual Thor, and make the Falcon Captain America. During the time when these three characters were still getting movies on the big screen. And so you think so any potential fans who want to read these new comics, they look at the cover and instead of seeing Tony Stark, who do they see? Riri Williams. Instead of seeing Thor, who do they see? The female Thor.
Yeah.
So Marvel fails to capitalize on what have been an easy money, dude, easy money when at the prime of the movies. And now, that prime is fading, man. It's fading. I don't see the Black Widow movie doing gangbusters. It will be a success, but not a Marvel success. And who knows how well their TV shows are gonna be? That's going to determine how well it will be done on TV. And with the characters they're using that were already poorly established to begin with, and that don't have the great amount of fans, I'm just saying there's gonna be a lot of people saying, yeah, this is the end of superhero movies. We're not gonna start seeing them less and less. I'm just saying, and it's
I
just
mean, movies right now have been pretty boring anyways for the past couple of the past couple of how you say
years.
years. Yeah. I would say a decade, but that's not that's not true. It's just years.
Well, and I remember think someone mentioning this, and yet you have a point because when you look at the movies that most people are seeing, they're always they have to be the big blockbusters, right?
Hmm.
And for the most part, especially because of ticket prices, and concessions, those are the only movies people are going to see because it'll be worth their time and money. And I remember over the years, I always hear news of like not even like movie studios, but like just middle movie studios shutting down or being bought out by bigger movie companies.
Yeah.
And so you have this whole sense that a lot of movies are just coming homogenized, where everything is just made to be a blockbuster, and there's no room for just have movies a lot that are diverse in the sense that that anyone could go to the theater and pick a movie that they would want to enjoy. And I think back to this, I'm looking back at horror movies. You know, I think of the horror movies that are out there, and I'm going, it's either gonna be ghosts, ooh, ghosts, some kind of weird movie about social issues like Us or Get Out, or they're going to be about something that's trendy, like how many movies are there about technology killing people, or spirits using modern technology to kill people?
Yeah.
I think the worst example, I don't, or maybe creative, was the one about how all these people are like skyping each other, and there's like like this spirit of a dead girl, like literally chatting with them on their Skype call, and the
Yeah, that one was interesting.
or the or wasn't there a movie where like there's literally an app that'll tell you how long you got to live or something like that? How can you extend that to a movie? That sounds like a short story at best. It honestly does. But as you know, that's referring to like the bigger movies out there, and actually, well, this wasn't. I didn't plan to talk about it, but actually, have you heard what's been happening to AMC?
Yeah, the Universal they want to take off Universal from their list.
It has a set of protests, and I'm thinking, dude, you can't afford that,
Could
especially
afford
with.
maybe.
Hmm?
I thought I retweeted that to you or showed you that. I don't know.
It's possible, but I've seen other people talk about it who have more film buffs than anything.
Hmm.
So as I mentioned it, and and I'm thinking to myself that, well, with the current situation going on, and with movies just kind of honestly, oh crap, thinking into a bigger topic. Okay,
Hmm.
I have a million ideas in my head, so I want to stick with this one. Okay, so you were mentioning how a lot of movies are just they're just not that interesting to go out and watch, even if once theaters open up. I made a video last night, about pretty much saying the same thing about comics, at least
Hmm.
from major comic companies. And earlier in the stream, I asked you about what games are coming out, that's exciting. And I only well, and we're literally just we just been last stream and somewhat of this stream just bashing on probably would have been the biggest game of the year.
Hmm.
And I try to remember, is there any big games actually coming out besides The Last of Us Part Two?
I don't think so.
Not, I mean, there was Cyberpunk, but I don't know when that's coming out. Um,
To be
Streets.
fair, a lot of I think media right now is just slowing down. Media itself in general.
I guess so, but even before then, I would at least know at least a few games I'll be excited for. The only ones I can think of is Streets of Rage 4, which kudos on people, but I'm more of a Final Fight guy, so I'm still waiting on that. Uh, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for the Switch, but that's only because I'm a big fan of the first game, so that's the only reason I would be excited for that. Uh, Resident Evil 3 literally just came and went.
Yeah.
That was disappointing. Oh, FF7, but neither of us are really that. Well, actually, I should say that I know I'm not. I never played FF7, so therefore I have no really attachment or interest to play it. Do you care about FF7 at all?
Not really.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a remake of a big game, but that doesn't really mean anything to us. Us millennials. Wait, are we millennials?
Yes, we are. At least for some people. For some others, we are like a different weird group. I don't know what.
I can never figure out where we are because it's like this. We're old enough to remember PlayStation, but not old enough to actually play PlayStation, at least properly.
Hmm.
It's weird. So yeah, we're in that weird.
Well, actually, no. I did play PlayStation.
But like during its heyday,
No.
that's what I meant.
Dang.
Yeah. So so FF7 remake has no attachment to us, and even then, I still think it's kind of crappy that you're essentially gonna have to be paying about $120 to play the full story.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty much.
how are like fans not? You know what? I already answered my own question.
It's easy. It's easy. Not just because of fans, but also because times have changed to the point where we've all been desensitized on spending our money.
That's true. No longer are you buying a full game. You're just buying a game that's still in development. or oh man, just time. Oh man, maybe we should go back to memory cards again so people are more selective what games they get. Oh man, but yeah, so the big thing I was trying to think is that I'm looking at all these interests, and because of things have slowed down because of the pandemic, it almost if there's one good thing, any silver lining is that I could say it allowed a lot of people to really look back on honestly like the last 10 years of entertainment,
Hmm.
and especially for me in regards to comics. I in that video that I did last night, I was pretty much telling, you know, would I even go back to buying comics on the weekly again? Because I was trying to think in my head, what are some comic series that I'd be still willing to read? And dude, like three came up on the top of my head, just three out of like the probably like 9 to 10 series that I've been reading. Aside from just three, the rest of them I could live without knowing what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to do that with games. I already have a good section of games, and live I can live without not playing the next big game. Actually, I think the only two like legitimate good games people are really playing right now that you can not argue with that has any weird practices with them is Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing,
Oh yeah. Definitely.
especially Animal Crossing. So, man, kudos on Nintendo, man. They released the game at the right time.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's just
I mean,
it's
2020 has been a very disappointing year, anyways.
yeah, but it's also been a very enlightening one. It's a very enlightening one, and that you know it's nice. It's nice to not be what was that old meme? It's nice to know that you're not a consumer
Yeah.
and just be like, just play games when I get them. Like just like this year, I finally played and beaten the 2016 Doom. Goes on. It was like on sale for $10. I was like, all right, this is the best time of anything. I did it, and I love it. I can't wait to play Doom Eternal when it's like about what $50 off. Maybe I'll rent it. Who knows? But yeah, just dang. It's a very reflective episode tonight. Very reflective, at least for me. Have you ever had those thoughts recently? At least when it comes to entertainment.
Well, in a way, yeah, but at the same time, it doesn't affect me too much just because the games I play, I've been playing for quite a while. So, League, and I've been re-watching some old, or like watching and like consuming a bunch of old media anyway, so I haven't really paid attention to the new stuff. So, like, if you notice, like, this past year, I've actually been more into Star Wars, and it's just like the old Star Wars, not the new one though, but the old Star Wars.
Actually, want to know what? Surprise! This came out of nowhere.
Hmm.
My dad too.
Really?
I kid you not. Earlier this week, believe it was I wasn't aware, but on Saturday, I don't know if he was just really looking for something to watch, or maybe just because of my little brother and I, uh, it got him to uh, really watch Star Wars, but watching it for the story and not just for the spectacle. Because,
Yeah.
because, let me ask you this: if
Hmm.
you can recall, what was like the big motivation and factor for you to even watch the Clone Wars in the first place?
Asian? I mean, you can't really ask me that because my motivation was I watched it before, so I should really finish it.
Okay, that's fine. That's a fine answer.
But
And
I know what you're trying to lead on is that most of the reason why a lot of people right now are watching Clone Wars is because of the new season.
right, although unfortunately my dad won't be watching Clone Wars because he just honestly does not like the look of the show.
But it's so the story's good.
I know, but I know my dad like he will pitch to the story, but you gotta have enough pizzazz and razzle dazzle in your the way you present a movie or show for him to even like pay attention. This is how he is. And he, but I think one of the things that probably I mentioned is like it's just something that was throwaway. It's a throwaway thing I mentioned, and that's pretty much common to know about Star Wars in general. That my dad never considered was that I think one time my little brother was talking about something Star Wars related, and my dad asked me to kind of explain what he was talking about, and I'll explain to him how like the prequels, it's all about Palpatine essentially manipulating a war in which he controls both fronts. And I was going in
Yeah.
depth about that whole essentially big conspiracy,
Hmm.
and I believe and. I mean, I said that, and I'll explain it as best as I could in a normie-ish way possible.
Hmm.
Then, come this past Saturday, he watched episodes 1 and 2 back to
Hmm.
back. On Sunday, literally after we finished our church service, I come downstairs to find him watching Revenge of the Sith, and which I ended up watching with him. Like I literally came down to show him something, and he was watching Revenge of the Sith. It was like halfway into the movie, and instead of just going backstairs to my room, I literally just was like standing there in his room watching it, and then just went and sat down on a chair next to his bed and was watching it with him.
But like, and speaking of which, speaking of that whole thing is, I was playing currently Star Wars Battlefront 2 because I just wanted to like it seemed like a fun game, especially with you being able to control the heroes and villains and stuff. So I wanted to try it out. And this past today in the morning or like in the afternoon, I went to get on, and this one guy says, "Hey, how come there's like all I like I want to play this game more, but all I ever play right now is Clone Wars because in Battlefront, you have when you play Supremacy, which is like the big all-out battle wars, like the Battlefield, like what Battlefield is always known for dice games and stuff. Um, you have three arrows you can go to. You can go towards the Clone Wars, the Rebellion, or the that new one, which I'm not gonna even try to mention by name. But yeah, so he's like, why do I always see Clone Wars? I'm like, well, I mean, it's a better it like I mean, Clone Wars is fun. Like it's a fun story, and like who doesn't want to be one of those rolling robots, the ones that like roll around and they pop up with a shield on them.
The Jordicas, yeah, they're fun.
And I always played as a commando droid whenever I had the chance. You know those?
Commando
The
droids.
assass-
Are those the ones with the big like machete looking
yeah, the
knife?
assassin type ones.
Oh yeah, I know what one he's talking about.
You know, like I've actually beat someone that was playing as Obi-Wan. Like I actually beat Obi-Wan as a commando droid, and you know what he says?
What did he say?
Dude, that sword guy is so OP. I'm like,
Says the guy with the lightsaber.
I said, you are literally playing a Jedi.
I I guess all his force powers were still what's that term again when he was still in cooldown mode, I guess. Hello there. So
Hello there. I, I, I just thought of the most scariest thing. Sith horror game. Alright? Because
oh
no, like, you're a Sith, and the horror game is you being a Sith full of Jedi everywhere. But here's the funny part.
what is it?
So this happened to me in a 2v2 game. I died because I got auto selected a hero and they gave me a character with a blaster, which is not good against Jedi at all whatsoever. And funny thing, the guy that was playing, he was running around also with a blaster, but considerably he was a better hero anyways. He was running away from Obi-Wan because he was in the 1v1 with him. And he was running down the corridors constantly, just like running away, and you could never see Obi-Wan, but you could hear him because the guy kept using the emote. So
Oh
down
no.
the corridors, you could hear, "Hello there, hello there, hello there," like very either softly or loudly. Like the further you went away, it was getting further away. But then he got super close. Horror game with Obi-Wan as the monster. We need that.
And you play as Darth Maul.
Hello there. I
uh,
said spear. Hello there.
oh man. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm glad that my dad has at least gained Star Wars the attention it deserves. And and funny enough, he didn't get went to a strange direction because at this point, the way my dad is, if he ever gets into something, he gets into it full force. Like it's not just like, especially if it's like a series or franchise. He wants to experience, for the most part, everything it entails. And with Star Wars, obviously he won't be watching the animated shows, which is a shame because I think he should watch Clone Wars. And obviously he's not going to go into playing the games or reading the books or the comics, whatnot. He'll just stick to the movies. And at one point, I think when I was looking, at one point he got confused of which movies to go next after Episode 3. Now, of course, in my mind, I'm like, then you go to Episode 4. That's it. But then I forget. I forget that Rogue One and Solo are part of the canon, and so so he's confused of what to go from there. She's like, should I watch Rogue One first, or I watch Solo first? And then all of a sudden, he then, probably looking up on the internet, he then learns about a Star Wars fan film called Star Wars Revelations. And he sends a little brother up to me to ask him about it, asking, hey, he's like, hey, do you know what this movie is? And I didn't know what it was. I looked it up. I'm like, oh, it's a fan film. No worries, just a movie some fans made. It's not part of the story. And guess what?
What?
He still watches it anyways,
Yeah.
just to see what it is. And let's see. I think and his fan film came out during Revenge of the Sith was out, so it was still part of the original canon.
Hmm.
Let's see, the film takes place between Revenge and New Hope and explains why the Jedi Order was extinct in the original trilogy. So that's the synopsis of it. And and then after that he went to watch Solo. And the funniest part though, you want to know something funny?
What?
He's not aware of the two different canons. So as soon as he watched the fan film and Solo, he then asked me, "You know that girl at the end of Solo? Um, how come she's not in anything else? She's in this movie. She's not even in her character's not even in the fan film. Are they not connected? Are they not the same character?" And which then would for me to explain to him, the canons, like the whole thing with the canon thing. And he I think he kind of understood what I was talking about. Pretty much like there's the old Star Wars stuff and there is the Disney Star Wars stuff, and that Star Wars fan film is part of the it's tangentially part of the old stuff, and the newer stuff are part of the Disney ones. I think he kind of understood, but he was still wondering why this character from the Solo movie. I think he thought that it was the same character from a fan film. By the way, my dad's an engineer, everyone. So yeah. But apparently, you're not smart enough to realize they're two different characters. uh,
Well, he he'll figure it out.
I'm sure.
I mean, for me, I'm not planning on watching Solo or Rogue One.
Yeah, they're not worth it anyways. But he is, and I'm just waiting till he finally reaches the original trilogy, because because this will be fun seeing him. It's kind of some of the things he took Star Wars for granted, and just realizing the story is about what the story is and whatnot. Especially when considering the real complete saga. What I'm talking about, the real one.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. But after he's done with that, he's on his own. I'm not joining him. After when episode 6 done, that's the end. That's the end. That's how much I'll tag along. He can enjoy the movies by himself in his couch.
I am not going. Yeah, like it'll be torture to rewatch those new movies.
Oh man. By the way, I'm glad the YouTuber ER E semicolon R. That not that Nazi PewDiePie once mentioned in one video.
Mm-hmm.
He finally released his Rise of Skywalker video, and I saw it. I can't wait for his second part. They're always so funny and informative too. Very informative. And it's also just a counter of how many Jew jokes he can fit into a script. A lot, actually, a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there's many years worth of material you can go for.
Especially during the early 20th century.
Exactly.
Oh man. Oh man. Yeah. Now I'm trying to think. Trying to get back focus. Ah. Dang it, now I'm thinking about dang it. Now because I mentioned PewDiePie, all I can think about his new inside joke with the floor game.
Full game.
It's amazing how if you just miss one video, you miss like an entire place worth of memes.
Roll game. Woo.
I don't watch any of his Minecraft stuff, and then when I watch him doing Lawai, it's all but Minecraft stuff. I mean, I was able to gather some ideas with some of the stuff that happened, like how he killed one of his pets by accident.
Oh yeah, but that's plenty of times what you talk about.
But it's just if anything, PewDiePie vids is like his own TV. It has his own continuous plot. Miss one video, boom. The next three videos are not gonna be as coherent.
I mean, watch the first Minecraft video. Like not the very first one, but the first one of this playthrough. Watch that one, and then go back, and now just like skip ahead to in the middle of the series.
Uh,
It goes from "Hey, I'm building a house. I don't know what I'm doing" to "Council of Water Sheep. Tell me what to do."
I got that. He certainly went deep. He went deep into that game, and
Made his own cult several times.
so. And by the way, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I do like his current look. I actually do like his current hairstyle. His current hairstyle. Cause you want to know why? Want to know why?
Why?
Cause number one, he pulls it off very well. They put the short crew cut hair and the beard. But also number two, he just looks different from like every other popular YouTuber, especially male ones that either go for the uh, weird greased up comb over hair, or like the dyed hair, or just having a nice beard. Like his PewDiePie just shoveled. He grows it. He
Yeah.
doesn't groom it or anything. And I see groom beards. I'm like, that's not the point. That's not how a beard is supposed to look like. Did Abraham Lincoln groom his beard? I mean beard.
Yes. Yes. I bet you he did.
Did he ask for girly guys when he got shot in the head? I love that line from Cotton. Along with it. Sorry, I stopped by the wax museum to give the finger to FDR. Uh, so many great King of the Hill lines. Wish I. After I know with Spider-Man, I think I know which next series to make a retrospective out of. Just me talking about King of the Hill for like a good straight 13 months. There's a lot you could tie about King of the Hill.
I mean, there's always something to meme about with John Redcorn. Because I love the John Remember the one TikTok I showed you with John Redcorn at the very end?
Uh, trying to remember.
I think it was like the whole thing. The whole skill was like them talking about the C virus.
Oh, I can't remember. And like the last joke, and he made like a
John
small.
Redcorn was like, it's funny how it's funny that you hate to see a foreign person come to your land and give you new diseases. Something along those lines.
Yes, right now I remember. Oh, the pettiness in that. uh, John Redcorn, would you do the honors of looking over my wife? Which, by the way, ever told you that the voice actor for Dale, he's actually a conspiracy theorist?
Really?
Yes, and and as well, I did not know this, but let me double check to make sure because I could have been told a lie, and I'm not gonna lie. I fall for a lot of things, man. I'm just a simple guy, man. If you tell me black is blue, I will.
No, you're a gullible guy. That's what you are. Not a simple guy.
I'm gullible. I follow all the trends. I'm a follower.
Yeah,
I'm not
like
a
how
leader.
it took you several minutes to realize I'm not playing the panel that was right in front of you, but the one that was right behind you, or right behind me.
Or I could be retarded. One of those two as well.
I I gotta be honest here. I'm a little bit retarded.
Oh, Did you see the
More. Here he comes with the Alex Jones.
no no just. I'm just trying okay. Let me breathe for a second. Okay. Okay. So, did you see the recent thing with our Lord and Savior Alex Jones?
Your Lord and Savior Alex Jones.
Or more jester, really. More jester. Or court jester. But did you see the recent thing with him?
No, what did he do this time?
Oh, okay. Alright, forget this. I gotta show you this.
Well,
I
app
gotta.
is starting to vibrate. That means it's something really good. Whenever hack vibrates, that's whenever hack vibrates. That it tells you that it's a joke that he's gonna be laughing, and you'll find mildly amusing.
That is just my sense of humor. Don't knock it. Don't knock it till you try it. Okay. Here it is. I'm okay. So okay. So to de-hype it, I'm pretty sure you just saw this, but you just probably forget about it. Like most things I show you. So I will say that you probably already seen it, but it's worth at least mentioning on the show. So there you go. Send the link to you on Discord, and I'll show it to the audience.
I'll admit it. I will eat my neighbors. I'm not letting my kids die. I'm just going to be honest. My superpower is being honest. I've extrapolated this out, and I won't have to for a few years since I got food and stuff. But I'm literally looking at my neighbors now and going, I'm ready to hang them up, and gut them, and skin them, and chop them up. And you know what? I'm ready. My daughters aren't starving to death. I'll
Alright,
eat my
sorry.
neighbors. See,
Let me see it.
my superpower is being
It
honest.
took a while
I'll
for it
eat
to
your
pop up.
ass.
I'm not sure why.
I will. I'm combat model, optimal
Oh, I will
self-sufficiency.
eat my neighbors.
Probably the leader. The point is have you thought about that yet? Because I'm somebody that thought I could fix this, and I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like sizing up my neighbor, how I'm going to haul him up by a chain and chop his ass up? I'll do it. My children aren't going
I'll
hungry.
eat my neighbors.
I will eat your ass.
I'll
I will eat your ass first.
I'll eat your ass.
Alex, I will eat your ass, Jones.
I need to show this to I need to show this to everyone. I'll eat your ass.
Oh.
It's like as if it's pretty much me if I stopped caring about my own filter. Like that's like my favorite catchphrase. I'll eat your ass. I always say that whenever it comes to something competitive. I'll be like, I'll fucking eat your ass. Don't you better not.
I will eat my neighbors. I'm not gonna lie. All for my daughters. Oh man, the best. Oh man, this. Oh this pandemic's. Oh man. It's always a gold mine with him. It's always gold. He's 1 for 1 on just gold.
Shit. Holy shit.
Holy shit! Son of a bitch!
I'll eat your ass. Like that. I was not expecting that line.
Oh man. Okay. Okay. I think there's one. I will make this a short episode, but there's one thing I would like to mention before we call it a close, because the news came out today, and admittedly requires a lot of context. So let me start explaining it as best as I can. So, Jack, do you remember Darkside Phil, DSP?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, are you of any awareness of what's been going on with him currently?
No, what happened?
Okay, so since the beginning of the year, he has been going through a bankruptcy.
Oh.
Okay, now hold on. Don't feel bad for him. So throughout this time of the year, he's going through the legal majig of filing for bankruptcy, and a lot of things, especially from his detractors and from people who just find pretty much personal information about him. There is they come to realize that this guy is well, number one, has built up a lot of credit card debt from different credit holders, and he has not been paying a mortgage on a home he owns in, I believe it was Connecticut. He just stopped paying it entirely. So, and of course, I think there's a whole other tax reason. But the main part is he has a lot of credit card debt. And through a lot of investigations, while not officially said, people have come to put the pieces together and realizing that DSP gained a lot of credit card debt because of a mobile game.
What?
And
Wait, so he's been spending a lot, hasn't he, for that mobile game?
a WWE mobile game.
Why? WDW. Why, out of all the mobile games, why
And
that
the
one?
last figures I heard of how much he spent on that game was $25,000.
Is he has a problem, dude?
Hold up, the best part is I hear yet. So now the whole bankruptcy was going on, and there was going to be an official day in which a bankruptcy judge was going to determine the outcome. Then guess what happened? The pandemic
What?
happened, so that was postponed.
Hmm.
And so they're going through, and so a lot of the dispositions and speaking with lawyers are done over the phone. And at one point, there was one conversation in which Darkside Phil uh, essentially had to either correct or fix all the stuff that all his possessions, because pretty much he had to file multiple forms and amend them so many times of the stuff he actually owns, and most of the stuff are just like geeky memorabilia, collectibles, toys, games, all that crap, which make up the bulk of the stuff he actually owns. So, and then things get quiet for a while, and he's just doing his normal strains, begging for tips and telling people that he'll play a game if they give him this amount of money, and then never do it. And of course, doing the all that, all that
Hmm.
until today, in which I kid you not, earlier today it was announced that the judge that was ruling over his bankruptcy case discharged all his credit card his credit card payments, meaning that at this point, until some things happen, Darkside Phil is free from his debt.
Huh.
And the meme keeps going. People thought, oh, finally, he's gonna like reality's gonna hit him in the face when he starts losing everything he's ever possessed. Then all of a sudden, the judge does a 180 and says, we'll discharge your credit card payment, and so that massive thousands of dollar bill that's on Phil's back is just lifted like that.
Dumb.
Oh my god. And when I saw that news, it's not as unfortunately it's not as simple as I'm explaining it, but that's just the basic case of what's going on. He still has to deal with his mortgage in Connecticut, and apparently the court couldn't find money that he's getting mysteriously, even though he has like 5 avenues of revenue. He's being paid by Google AdSense, Patreon, PayPal, and all that Twitch money and Streamlabs.
That's not fair. I I wish I could make that much.
But I believe the reason why it was this bill was discharged is because the in some way of how DSP filed his earnings, it puts him in the category of being in poverty. He claims to make like less than $60,000 a year. Even though and but and even though you can't really see that since he streams very comfortably in his nice house with tons of streaming equipment and video games and has a wife. Probably
I'm
not for
surprised the wife was still there. From like if I had a wife, they heard the like the news that I spent $25,000 on WWE mobile app, they would have they would have left me.
DSP, man. He is like there's a nickname for him. He's the pig roach. You know, he's disgusting and vile, but nothing can take him down. Our judicial system couldn't take down DSP.
No one could take down DSP.
Oh my god. And for those who don't know who we're talking about, it's too long to mention. If you want to get a clear cut, concise answer of who this guy is, and if you got the time, which you probably do considering what's going on, I would recommend watching a video called This Is How You Don't Play Tekken 7, and that will give you an idea of who DSP is. The only thing, if there was anything I wish I could take away from DSP Jack, is obviously his devilish luck and his Street Fighter skills. I think those are the only two things I would copy of him from me.
I don't know. I wouldn't try to copy his
Don't you?
product skills.
You sure? You sure you don't want to keep on going, even like if like bad thing after bad thing happens? Like you're still getting tons of money, even when you were caught masturbating on stream.
Don't remind me of that.
And with that lovely image, we come to close today on our 39th episode of the Hack Jack Show. So, with our closer, of course, Jack, tell us anything going to be going on until our next episode, which milestone our 40th episode.
We decided what we're gonna do for the 40th.
You mentioned an idea for me, but I don't want to reveal it here on stream because actually I do want to talk to you about some future plans we have for the show.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be for the 50th on that one.
You said 40th. I could have misremembered. But in any case,
No, yeah, I did say 40th because the 50th was too long.
well, not as long as you think it is. But in any case, tell me what are you going to be doing for the channel till the next episode?
I will try to live stream as much as I can, but lately my computer's been having troubles live streaming. I don't know why.
It's overheating.
It's just been slowing down.
Oof.
So yeah. So that might come to a standstill for.
That's not good. And as for me, still working on Spiral Episode 3. I'm actually almost finished with the script. I will more than likely we'll finish the first draft tomorrow. And of course, we'll reread it, re-edit it, get on a new drafts, and then by the end of the week, I should be working on actually editing the video and hopefully be finished with it and move on to the next episode. And of course, Any free time that I have, I'll do try to make videos where it's a comic review or one of just me just wanting to spread an opinion out there for all the world to hear. Which, by the way, for some my Sonic videos be actually gain a lot more views.
Oh,
Since
nice.
yeah, I think it's on its. Hold up, let me double check the numbers. So yeah, check out it real quick. Like that's reached surprisingly like 40 views. Not gonna lie, I never thought it's gonna reach that high. So that was kind of surprising. Any case, so that's what I'm gonna be doing. As far as comic reviews, uh, unless something really like cringy, like New Warriors or those X-Men books come out, with like fun thing to mock, don't expect much reviews of new comic books when they eventually start going back to store shelves. I'll probably just be just re-note stuff because I mean there's 80 years worth of comics. I think I'm good. I think. So with all that said, all that said, for those who'll be rewatching this episode when it's fully available to watch, thank you for watching all the way. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that lovely jazz. And please spread the word about this channel. Help us grow. Help us bring entertainment to everyone's lives through our fun selves, and so that we can call this a fun. So we can make this a fun hobby to do on the side. So and yeah. So with all that said, thank you very much for watching. And this is Hack signing out.
I have no troubles eating my neighbor. I'll eat your ass.
Good thing.